about the European leaders and European people. Is he worried about what is happening with I-10 treat?
Yes, of course they're worried. They know that a new round of fresh and dangerous armament is possible. And of course, it is also necessary to say that after the downfall of the Soviet Union, the Western aggression against Russia has continued with little time lost. And the latest turn of the screw is the one-sided break of the INF treaty, and it would have been possible, of course, to enhance it, to renew it, instead of just destroying and abandoning this achievement. But once more, unfortunately, Washington prefers the more aggressive way. That is a very sorry stand. And we also have the problem that Washington's imperialist doctrine of the full spectrum dominance is outdated and needs replacement, for example, by full spectrum defense, a strategy of the firm ability to deter without the need to be stronger than all other adversaries combined. But the powers directing and governing Washington are aggressive, and that's the very dangerous situation.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. And perhaps you know what European politics are preferring to do now in the situation that treaty is now unfigured.
Well, what they suggested is very clear. They want that there's an international talks, and China is included. This is what the German Foreign Minister Heiko Maas has just said. And of course, I think he's right. Everybody should sit at the table. It is very important that there are substantive discussions, not, just issuing of propaganda Washington type. Unfortunately, Washington so far has refused to enter serious debate, and our European fear is about escalation, that this escalates and that we don't have a real chance, because, as you may know, the global financial situation is crazy. We have a huge bubble, and the powers that are ruling the governments are set for war because they want to cover this fact that they have mismanaged global finance and the global monetary system.
Yes, exactly what you said. I'm completely agree with you, and it's for me it's very interesting and important that we have common views. But could you say about the treat for Europe? Because we in Russia, we talk a lot about Europe and USA, and Europe is on the border with Russia.
Exactly.
And then some military equipment from US is now on the on European territory. And then Russian military could have Europe as the name. Does someone in Europe see this problem, this side of problem? Okay.
The problem is, in fact, that 90% of the politicians do understand this problem in Europe. But they are either too corrupt or too weak to resist and to dare and take this time, in the Third World War standing in front of the door, the new way of refusing escalation and refusing a new war, as can be seen from this very sorry nonsense in the regime change coup d'etat in Ukraine in 2014. Then the Crimea question, we are democratic countries, our governments say, and it must be sure that 25 years after German reunification, it must be allowed to Crimea to also have their reunification with Mother Russia. If we Germans do not understand, who in the world should understand that? And then we look at this crazy Skripal case with this Novichok poisoning, and we know it was a very dirty secret service plot against Russia and many other things. We see all this, and we are in vain hoping that our politicians are telling, okay, now stop it. This is just anti-Russian, and we are not going with it, because we know, especially in Germany, we know where this will end. It will end in a new war, and Russians and Germans both will suffer most.
Okay, you said that a lot of, most of politicians understand it.
Yeah.
And what about the people?
The people, you know, they are much simpler, and of course they're, by our big mass media, completely disinformed, really. Not misinformed, but disinformed, intentionally giving the wrong information. And that means they simply have their feeling of fear, and they want that their politicians do the right thing, but they have no idea how. They don't know how to protest. Our freedom and our peace movement are pretty much dead, and that is a very difficult situation. So even the Social Democrats have now called for a new peace movement, but where should that come from? People are completely disillusioned. The majority of them thinks that politics is corrupt and that they are powerless. This is, in fact, the most dangerous thing. The people who are the huge majority, 99.9%, they think they have no power. And this is crazy. This is like a wrong programming of a machine.
Okay, and from what you said, could I state that, for example, people want to support someone, possible leader of opposition, for example, that would say that would lead another politics with Russia and with US, just to lead the peaceful politic?
Well, it is very simple. If this kind of opposition leader is credible personally in his party, in his movement, and if all of his policies are credible, they maybe would like to support him. But we don't have this kind of politician right now. If we look into the parliament, if we look into parliament's opposition, and if we look into parliament's ruling parties, we see this kind of leader is missing, and the people notice that, they feel it, and so they don't trust anybody. They don't really know where to turn to.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yes, yeah, it was very interesting to speak to you, and thank you for your remarks, for your answers. It was very, very informative.
Thank you, Alexander. Take care of yourself. Good luck to Moscow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Take a good day.
Same to you.